Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Biz Besties. We're your hosts, Nicole and Kaila. Today, we're talking all about the principle of supply. And this isn't going to be your typical supply and demand conversation. It's going to be a lot more fun than that, more spiritual, more feminine, more aligned. But before we get into it, the drill, Kaila, gratitudes today.
Today, I am grateful for this online business that we run where we don't have to ask permission to go on vacation because at lunch, my partner and I were talking about where we want to go this weekend and what we want to do next. And it's a long weekend. What should we do? And we booked a hotel and we're taking the family on a little 3-day trip. And I didn't have to check with anyone. It's just so exciting. We can do whatever we want when we run our own business. What about you?
Okay, my gratitude. I actually took a video of this. I don't know if I'll post it or not, but I was thinking on my walk about how we always tell our clients to enjoy the journey and focus on loving the journey just as much as they love the destination, which is the sale or offering their course or product or whatever, and to enjoy the marketing and the sales and all of that leading up to it. And I had this aha moment today because I went outside and took my dog for a big long hour walk. And now I live steps from the beach. And we were the only ones at the dog park and the only ones at the beach. And yeah, I really enjoyed the journey today. So that's what I'm grateful for is new realizations. Okay, so this conversation of the principles supply actually came from Kaila saying to me, "Hey, can I read you my favorite quote or affirmation from this book that I'm really into?" And I was like, "Of course." And then she reads it to me, and I was like, "Oh, that's a Biz Besties. We've got to talk about this further and explain in further detail the book, the process, where it came from, how you started it, what it's doing for you, and then I'll talk about the spiritual side of the practice of supply."
Yes. So I'm going to go on a little storytelling adventure here with you about how things have come together for me and culminated, basically started again when I turned 39 on August 24th. Now, that sentence sounds confusing, but just go with it for a second. In June, Nicole said, "There's this cool conference I see happening in Arizona in August. Do you want to go?" Or maybe it was the first week of July. And I said, yes, because I heard that from Nicole that manifestation babe, Kathryn Zenkina, is going to be there. So I just thought there's lots of other cool speakers, but I don't care. I just want to see her in real life. This is going to be incredible. Whatever else happens, I'm here for it, but we are going to see Manifestation Babe. And Nicole had this dream at the beginning of 2024 that the sign that she needs from the universe is to meet Manifestation Babe in person. And that's going to be the "it's all unfolding for us now" sign. Okay. So we hear she's
Oh
going to
my
be live.
gosh.
We hear she's going to be live. We buy the tickets. No questions asked. I'm like, yes, we're going. Let me just double check with Scott that he can deal with the kids and that kind of thing. He says, yeah, sure. I'm like, August 10th. He's like, yep. So we booked the tickets. Nicole does the flight and the hotel. It's all happening. We put it on the calendar. And in the meantime, all this stuff went down in our lives in July. But we did not let that stop us from going to the thing in August because we were looking forward to a vacation and the desert and seeing Manifestation Babe and all these things. August 10th occurs. I'm going to the bathroom at the conference, and who should walk right by me but Kathryn Zenkina? So, of course, I could not keep it together. I actually couldn't say anything because in my brain went blank, and all that was happening was, oh my God, I need to get Nicole. But I had to stop her and say hi. And then
Mhm.
Jackie took a picture, and then I was in like the weirdest stance ever because I had short circuited. Then we texted Nicole, "Get up and get to the bathroom right now," with the picture of me with Kathryn Zenkina. Now, yes, we are fangirls. And yes, she is just another normal human. But we do listen to her manifestation trainings, listen to her podcast, follow her on Instagram, have been following her journey since the beginning of her journey when she was doing Beachbody. And now she's into creating Manifestation Babe. And the thing that really stuck with me with her and all of the spiritual teachers and all of the people that we're following, the thing that stuck with me with her is that she said the biggest thing that ever happened in her life was that she decided manifestation was real.
Mm.
And so it was. And then I heard that and I said, I have decided that building this business is going to make us a lot of money. We're going to have so much fun, and we're going to be able to help thousands of women, if not millions soon. And everyone's going to be making a lot of money, having a lot of fun, understanding money better, understanding wealth building better, understanding business building better. We're on this journey together. And I am believing that's real. So, Kathryn Zenkina, yes, she's very inspirational to both of us. I follow her on Instagram. She's on a safari. You know what she posts? That she's reading this tiny book. I said, okay, I'll get it. So I ordered it that day on Amazon. It's $9.95. It's called The Abundance Book by John Randolph Pierce. Price, sorry. And I started reading it. And at first, I had to just get through all the God stuff because I grew up Catholic and I have a bit of trauma around the patriarchy and call me father and all that bullshit. But then it started to sink in. I started to realize, okay, I can learn from this and think of myself as the ocean in one drop instead of a drop in the ocean. This all came together at the right time because I decided maybe in July that I wanted to do Project 39, where I pick things that I'm going to focus on in this last year of my 30s. So I enter my 40s feeling as good as possible with the highest standards I've ever had in my whole life, manifesting $1 million a year of income. So this is all coming together. The book has arrived. I've written my Project 39 list. I started doing the 40-day prosperity plan in the abundance book, and now I want to do it every day for the rest of my life. And because Bob Proctor is in our lives, and Bob Proctor reads Napoleon Hill's book every day of his life, or read it back when he was Earthside, have this concept that it's possible to be devoted to a practice. It's all coming together. Anyway, I keep saying that because it really is. And I feel like I'm on the journey, I'm in the flow, I'm accepting things that come to me as they align. And when they don't align, I just let them go. So, this abundance book, there's some instructions in here on the 40-day prosperity thing. And one of the instructions is to write out the whole this day, show actual date. I cease believing in visible money as my supply and my support, and I view the world of effect as it truly is, simply an outpicturing of my former beliefs. And then you write down the 5 statements that are in there. And then every day for 40 days, you study statement 1 through 10. Like day 1, you study day 1, day 2, blah, 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 all the way through. And you just repeat the 10 statements 4 times over the 40 days. My favorite statement, now we're getting to the point of this whole story that you introed before. My favorite statement is statement number 6, where the other ones I read and I have to think about them and I get it, but number 6 just really hits with me. So this is what I read to Nicole, and this is what opened up the whole principle of supply thing. Number 6, my inner supply instantly and constantly takes on form and experience according to my needs and desires. And as a principle of supply and action, it is impossible for me to have any needs or unfulfilled desires. It's impossible for me to have any unfulfilled needs or desires. So go ahead and want whatever you want and be whomever you want to be and bring your light to the world, and anything you desire is theirs.
Okay, I love this. And why would you say that's your favorite one? Are all the other ones in the book just as good? What about that particular one is your favorite?
Oh, you know why I like this one the best? Maybe it's because it's right in the middle. So there's good content before and after. So when I read it, I'm primed and then I'm excited at this moment, maybe. But then the thing about it to me is when we're in lack, or when we start to think of competition, or we start to think of things being impossible, it starts the downward spiral. But if we just cancel lack, competition, impossibility, yeah, okay, maybe you want this, but maybe you'll never have it in your lifetime. When we cancel all of those thoughts and say anything you desire is available, anything you desire is right there, then you can move forward and get what you desire, because the insecurity, the lack, the doubt, the whatever is canceled. It's put to rest. It's not even there. You can decide that you're going to cancel that insecurity, doubt, fear, lack. Just cancel it and act as if it doesn't exist and see what's possible. Now, if it comes back, if you have doubts and fears and insecurities and whatever, you can just, and this is what I'm not like saying to do this, I'm saying this is my interpretation of the book and how I'm choosing to live. When that comes into my mind, I'm thinking, oh, hi, brain, that's a thought that's trying to keep me safe. Sure. Okay. I'm choosing not to believe that, and I'm choosing to believe that doesn't exist and doubt, lack, fear, blah, blah, blah is not the vibration that I want to be in. Unlimited possibility is the vibration that I want to be in, that I want my kids to be in, that I want to live in with, even just like walking down the street with people. If you're in unlimited possibility and you have time, and you have resources, and you have support, and you have love, then there's no reason to be so angry about things.
It's
Mm.
all very true. It's all about frequency,
Exactly.
decision, how we
This is a great
respond to
frequency.
things.
Yes, it's a great frequency. It's impossible for me to have any needs or unfulfilled desires.
Mm.
Where do
So,
I go from there?
so in terms of spiritual practices, the supply often refers to that it's the universe. So, you can
Yes.
sub universe out for God, source, creator. Like you said, the book mentions God, references God. Okay, if God's not like your jam, like capital God, then is it universe? Is it mother nature? Is it your higher self? Whatever it is, it's the abundant source of
Yeah.
everything that somebody might need. And whether that's material resources, whether it's more love, whether it's an abundance of wisdom, guidance, like the principle itself is rooted in the belief that by aligning yourself with your higher power, whatever that is,
Mhm,
or
mhm.
universal laws, that there's this continuous flow for
Yeah.
your own growth and your purpose, and that's all available.
Yes, that's it. Okay, not to read the whole book out loud right now, but number two is I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and substance of all my good. So, divine presence referring to God, I am referring to you, referring that the universe, the infinite power, whatever it is, working through you every day. And that my awareness, my understanding, and knowledge of the all providing activity of the divine mind within me is my supply. It can be within you. That's the thing. Like growing up Catholic, it was always like there's a guy sitting on a Philadelphia cream cheese cloud who's controlling everything like a puppeteer. And
Mhm.
that's how, like, in my mind, I knew that it wasn't right, but that's how I thought of it. I knew that it was impossible. I had so much doubt around it. And I thought, it, what, why would this guy who's sitting in the clouds eating bagels and cream cheese then create all this evil on earth? Like this guy, this one man in charge. And then he has all these other men who are down on earth doing his work and blessing people. Like, what? That never made sense to me. But in the structure of organized religion, where you're referring to a story that someone created that you're then going to base your entire life around, whether or not you personally agree with it, that doesn't work. But when I think of it as the unlimited source of creation within me and my divine mind, because all the thoughts come from somewhere and they're arriving with me, then what's possible when I feel that's unlimited and that there's enough for everyone? There's more than enough, and we can be prosperous.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
universal consciousness. Like your
Yeah,
consciousness is
exactly.
tapping into universal consciousness, to my consciousness, the consciousness of the trees and the dogs and everything that has a vibration and its consciousness.
Mhm.
To tie this into having an abundance mindset, which we're all about here at My Line Purpose, it
Yeah.
really is the belief that there is no lack in the universe, only
Mhm.
abundance. So you tap into your spiritual supply, like what you're talking about, you can operate from a place of sufficiency instead of scarcity. And how many people are like, I think of Tony Jones, me and scarcity, that's a joke. So it's just, again, this is what we say all day, every day to every single person. It all starts with truly the thought you're having in your head. You think about going into, we're talking to business owners here on this podcast. You think about going into your next launch or putting your next offer out there, whatever it might be, putting your podcast out there, and you're allowing yourself to go to all the what ifs of why it might not work and why somebody else has already done it or they've done it better or why you can't charge this amount or why people won't buy or your message isn't clear, whatever it is. And what if you stopped going to all those places and said, okay, what are all of the like high vibrational, abundant, more than enough sufficient places I could go to? What am I capable of? Who do I get to help? How can I stay in this abundance mindset? And this comes down to choosing to implement something like what you're doing, or like a journal as my practice, like having something that allows you to connect to, like you just said, your own inner consciousness, abundance, and belief. Yes, we can listen to podcasts and get inspired. Thank you, everybody who tunes in and listens to this. We can go to church and sit in a pew if that's what you want to do. You can listen to music. And at the end of the day, all of the answers are within. So you have to give yourself time to sit with yourself to decide, what do you really want and how are you going to make it happen?
Yeah. This practice, the 40-day prosperity practice, I think I'm doing extra because I don't think I have to write out the whole main this day I cease believing every day, but I've been doing that. And I'm on day 25. No,
Oh,
31,
31.
31, 31. Yeah. So I've been doing that. I've been writing it out because I notice it's a form of meditation. I notice my busy mind is I'm writing. So I'm reading it off a piece of paper. I'm writing it out and I have 50 thoughts happening all at the same time. Like I just get into focusing and another one comes in, and another one comes in. And I'm like, okay, I want to just pay attention to what I'm putting pen to paper on and what that means to me right now. And I'll deal with all the rest of it later. And then I remind my mind to come back to it. And then I do the one statement of principle that I'm supposed to reflect on for that day. By the time this 15 minutes of writing has happened, my mind is clear enough to start giving me my own ideas.
Mm.
And that's where I came up with the terms or the goals or whatever you want to say of Project 39, like what I'm going to do in this year before I turn 40 that is going to raise my standards and have all the things and people, places, experiences that I want to have in the next year and be really intentional about how I'm spending my time and what businesses I'm creating and how we're making money and all that kind of thing this year.
It's so good. Okay, I think that this has been a great episode. We'd love to hear from everybody who's tuned in of what is arising for you in this conversation. Do you have principles and laws that you believe in and that you make practices around? And hearing about the principle of supply, what is opening up for you? And is there opportunity for you to carve out time in your day to get into your own abundance mindset? It's easy to go to a fear-based mindset. It's so easy. We're programmed. We're literally biologically programmed to want to go to, how can I protect myself from this fear-based thing? So it takes a
Mhm.
lot more work to work on an abundance mindset than it does to work on going into fear. We don't work on going into fear. It's easy to just
Yeah.
dip into fear, and it's a lot more challenging to focus on abundance.
Yeah. But you can do it. Flex that abundance muscle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, bye. Find out the fastest way to grow your business without sacrificing more time or adding more one-on-one clients now. Go to myalignedpurpose.com/quiz and get your results.